Hey fans, did you know that 4-Star Sports Media now has a YouTube channel? You can catch exclusive content covering all things Memphis Tigers and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Shows like The Point, and the only show on social media about the Arkansas Razorbacks that is purely fan-driven, Inside the Hog Pen. Plus other shows like The Hog Trough, The 4-Star Sports Show, and many more coming soon. So check them out today. Go on YouTube.com and search 4-Star Sports Media.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome in. This is the January 19th, 2022 episode of the 4-Star College Basketball Pickem. So welcome in. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight, whether you're to us on the 4-Star Sports Media Network, YouTube, Stitcher, Spotify, Facebook, wherever you're at. We appreciate the eyes and the ears very much, and we're going to go over some of the top 25 rankings this evening. We're also going to do some college basketball picks on a few games this weekend, and just discuss a little bit of college basketball. So that's what we're for tonight. So hope you guys are ready to listen and hopefully get some good insight on what we're looking at going into this weekend.
Well, since Wes isn't here, I think we're going to have some great insight today, Will. Wes doesn't know much about college basketball, so it's really nice to have all four of us on here and not have to listen to him just parade around, say, oh, I know this, I know that. I'm just kidding. Wes knows a lot, and he's just not on tonight, but Will's going to take his spot as the host, and I'm just going to run my mouth as usual.
Hey, man, I welcome you running your mouth as much as possible because you can hopefully bail me out if I need it. But, you know, kind of looking at some of the topics for this evening, guys, and you look at the top 25 right now, the AP poll, you know, just some of my thoughts on it. And I don't know how familiar you guys are with the top 25, but there are a lot of familiar faces out there, a lot of familiar teams. And the records are all pretty close. You know, you look at the top 25 right now, I think the only team with more than 4 losses in the top 25 is number 24 ranked Tennessee Vols. They've got 5 losses, but I look at this top 25 and we're coming down the stretch. It seems like it could be anybody's year. What do you guys think? I'll start with you, Brandon.
Yeah, this is one of those weird years where any team can win it, top to bottom. Hell, like even though I know they've struggled all year, I still think Memphis could have an opportunity to go out there and make some noise. This is a UConn-esque year, you know, where a quiet team like UConn gets into the tournament and turns into the best team in college basketball for 5 games, you know, 5 or 6 games, however long it is. But no, the top 25 this year is pretty it's weird. Tennessee doesn't deserve to be ranked. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Tennessee hater. I'm saying that because Tennessee's just not good at basketball right now. I believe, like you said, they're 25th, correct?
In the AP poll, I've got them 24th, but they're the only team with 5 losses at 11.
Yeah. And their 5 losses aren't good losses. Let's see, who else do we have here? This is college. I'm looking for college basketball. It keeps popping up college football. I guess the Pickem show just realizes that they want us to stay on the football side of things. I'm just kidding. No, here's the top 25 right here. Nope, that's football again. Dang it. Sorry, guys. Hey, Nathan, take over for just a second while I look this up.
All right, so guys, let's talk about this. All right, Brandon hit it perfectly when he talked about, you know, this being a crazy year for everybody. But I think the team you got to look at in this whole thing is Gonzaga is back up to number 1. And you got the Auburn Tigers, Bruce Pearl and Auburn at number 2. And that is incredible. I mean, that's coming from an Alabama fan. And, Auburn is a team that can definitely make a run if they want to. But you talk about being a crazy year. What about the game last night, Florida State against Duke? Florida State beating Duke by 1 point in overtime.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. I saw the end of it. Finally got the rankings up right here, guys. But yeah, no, Duke losing was huge. That was their third loss of the year. And I think they go in and play Syracuse on Saturday, and Syracuse has got one of the better offenses in the country. But yeah, no, this is one of those years. Look, I'm never sold on Gonzaga. Gonzaga's always a top 5 team, and they never get the job done. It's just that's how it goes with them. It makes no sense. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Gonzaga is going to win the national title because I don't think they will. I think you have teams like Baylor who has that experience, even though Baylor lost last week. They have that experience. And then, as Nathan just said, Bruce Pearl. I mean, Auburn's sitting at 16-1 right now, number 2 in the country. They play Georgia tonight at 9 p.m. Or 8 o'clock, something like that. But it's just, guys, Bruce Pearl, we all know how good of a coach he is. He was a great coach at Tennessee, great coach at Auburn. He gets the recruits in there. He knows how to win. And I honestly think it's a good place for him to be right now, especially because of the success that he's able to have at Auburn. But no, besides all of that, like I said, this is one of those years, and I just mentioned the team. I mentioned UConn, did I not? They're 12-4. They're ranked 25th in the country. They're sitting there ready to pounce at any moment. And then you have the other school that has been nothing short of consistent the last few years, Loyola Chicago, sitting there at number 22. They're 14-2. Got a good thing going. They score a lot of points. They play a lot of good teams. That's the type of team that you're going to have to watch out for come tournament time.
Well, I also want to mention this, Brandon, to bounce off of what you were saying. Also, you got to look at UCLA. UCLA has got a squad this year that is wanting to make another run and go to the finals and win. But not just that. You also got, for instance, who would have thought Purdue? I think Purdue's in the top 10, correct, Brandon? If I'm correct,
Number 4. Yeah, they're number 4.
Who would have thought Purdue would be putting up in the top 10? I mean, come on. I mean, this year is crazy for all these college teams. Everybody's getting a shot.
I agree with you on that, Nathan. Yeah, Purdue's not. I mean, typically they can be a top 25 team, but they're not really one of those top 10 teams. And they're having a great year right now. I mean, they got all the way up to number 1 at one point. And then you have first-year head coach out there at Arizona. I can't remember his name, but sitting at 14-1. And I know the Pac-12 has been kind of held back this year because of COVID and a lot of cancellations coming out of that conference and everything like that. But I really think that it's up in the air, guys. As we said, it's just one of those years we don't know who's going to win. And I guarantee after the first matchup in March Madness, all of our brackets are going to be busted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely agree with that. You look at the top 25, any of those teams can make it, but then you still have to fill out the field. So, I mean, there's obviously going to be somebody in the field beyond the top 25 that's going to make a run or some type of run. What do you think about that, Christian? Is there anybody in particular that you're maybe looking at that's outside the top 25 that might make a run at it?
Yeah, I think the top 25, as it typically does, it's probably going to change quite a bit throughout the year. There's some good teams in there that'll stay, but like Gonzaga and I hate to say it, but Kentucky will probably stay in the top 25 all season. Auburn, they're for real. I don't know if you've seen them play, but that Jabari Smith guy, he might be the best player in the country because of his size, and his ability to shoot. He's like a Kevin Durant type player. And, to be a homer, I mean, 3 games ago, I was really down on Arkansas. Like, this team has no heart, no passion. They've won
because they don't.
They've won 3 in a row. And I think they're starting to get things figured out. I think they're going to, salvage this season. And I think now they're starting to look like a team that can at least make the tournament. I know it's a long season. But as of now, from what I've seen, I think, they've got a lot of work to do, but I think they could eventually crack that top 25.
Hey, look.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think Arkansas could make the tournament. The NIT is a pretty easy tournament to make it into.
That's Memphis.
Especially when you undergo
that belongs
to
Memphis. We don't want to
especially when you're supposed to oversee expectations. Eric Musselman is a great coach, but he's just got a terrible team around him right now. There's no talent on that team. There's no heart on that team. They've played nobody SEC teams the last 3 games. Don't give them any credit. Mississippi State's a better basketball team than Arkansas right now.
Let's talk about Memphis.
Yeah, let's not talk about
Memphis.
We all want our coach fired.
Come on, guys. All right, let me butt in right quick, and let me tell you a team that's not in the top 25 that everybody needs to watch out for, including the Kentucky fans watching the game tonight, and that's Texas A&M.
Oh, A&M, yeah, they're good.
Texas A&M got a good squad.
Buzz
this
Williams
year.
is one hell of a basketball coach, so that's why I'm not surprised A&M is sitting there. Also, on a serious note, Christian, Arkansas is doing well the last few games. They're getting back into a rhythm. I think it's just taking a second for Musselman to get that team under control this year. They're young, but they're going to learn, and they're going to keep growing from it. So
yeah, I'm by no means sold on them, but I think they're at least playing respectable basketball now.
Well, and the one thing about the SEC is anybody can win the SEC tournament. It happens every single year. Either the best team wins it or they get eliminated in the first round. So, I think the SEC is by far the strongest basketball conference in the country right now. But it's a give or take. You don't really know what you're getting out of every SEC school. You do know they all have talent. They all have incredible coaching. But is it going to show up in the end? Except for Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt just stinks.
Yeah. But I don't know how they beat us.
So,
real quick,
Gary
guys. Stackhouse found blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Well, look, I'll put this in the hat too. The Houston Cougars, they're doing really well right now. Now, I got my prediction for an upset in the upcoming games, but that game is going to be, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, Memphis upsets Houston when they play next. I think it's next week, I believe. Well, it's next month. But
yeah, it's next month.
Yeah, next month. Memphis.
Sorry. Speaking of Houston.
Go ahead.
Will, what do you think about the job Kelvin Sampson has done after losing his top 3 players? I just think it speaks to how good of a coach he is in the type of program that he runs. But what do you think personally out of what Kelvin Sampson's done to salvage his season after losing his top 3 guys?
Who are you asking, Brandon? Were you asking
me?
You.
That was to you.
Sorry, my wife came in for a second. She just distracted me. So, man, I mean, honestly, you look at them; they're in the top 10. I mean, I don't necessarily think I would have expected it, but then again, they had a deep run last year. He's proved he's a hell of a coach. As much as I may not be a Houston fan, I can appreciate somebody that's good at what he does, and he's definitely that. So yeah, I mean, only thing I can ask for is that maybe they get knocked out of the conference tournament before we have to play them. But he's done a heck of a job, man. You can't fault him for anything. Losing players and still holding ground is solid. Especially you look at the top 25 and all the teams and the talent that are up. you're hanging tough with them. But real just to kind of caveat on something y'all were talking about earlier, you were talking about the SEC and the strength there. Real quickly, just because it'll probably begin before we finish the podcast, and it's one of my picks or one of the games to be picked this evening. And that was the Kentucky matchup that we're gonna, we were just talking about. Real quickly, if you don't mind, you guys giving me your picks. Game, you've got number 12 Kentucky at Texas A&M tonight. Who you guys got? I'll start with you, Christian.
Yeah, I think Kentucky gets the win. They're starting to come into form. Last year was a weird season for them, and now they've got the talent, which they've always kind of had they had the talent last year, but I don't know what went wrong with that team. But this year they're starting to get it kind of figured out, and they're the Kentucky of that we all come to know. Just nobody likes them, but it's you got to bring your A game. A&M's a solid team. They're 15-2, 4-0 in conference.
What's wrong with it?
It wouldn't shock me if A&M got the win, but I'm not totally sold on it yet.
Temple.
I think Coach Calipari's a great coach.
All right, I'll get checked out.
I think he's a piece of crap.
Yeah. I think Kentucky, I think they're going to go on the road and get the win. And A&M's probably going to give them a game, but like I said, I think Texas A&M, I don't think they're as good as their record shows, but hey, they're playing good basketball, and like Brandon said, the SEC is pretty much wide open. I mean, Auburn's going to be up there in Kentucky, and after that, it gets kind of, it kind of levels out across the conference.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so Brandon, how do you feel about this Kentucky-Texas matchup real quick?
I think Buzz Williams shoves his fist down Calipari's throat tonight and pulls his insides out, and Texas A&M beats the crap out of Kentucky at home.
Gotcha. We will see how that plays out. Nate, what do you think about tonight, man?
The thing about Texas A&M, it's a tough place to play during football season, and it's an even tougher place to play basketball season, especially the squad that they have on that Texas A&M basketball team. So I do not think that Coach Calipari has an answer for this Texas A&M team. I think Texas A&M is going to come in and blow them out.
I got you. All right. Well, I think it looks like me and Christian are in the same corner. We got Kentucky winning this matchup while you guys are rolling with Texas A&M. So just to kind of go back, maybe not even to the top 25, but just to cover the NCAA basketball scene as a whole, moving on to some of the next topics here. Are there any surprises, whether they be teams or coaches, that have just, stood out to you guys this year now that we're right around maybe just slightly past the halfway point of the season? Brandon, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, I'll start with the biggest disappointment in college basketball, which is the University of Memphis. We talked about it last night. Penn Hardaway apparently can't coach. He also apparently can't keep guys on his staff. With the news that Rasheed Wallace is no longer a bench coach for this team, he's just now a consultant, which means he'll be doing Zoom interviews with our players. You know how much that helps with coaching.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look. Y'all heard what I had to say last night, if you listened to the point, but Memphis is by far the biggest disappointment in college basketball. Preseason top 25, top 15 team. And then you're 9-7, and you have losses to teams that you should have beat by 100 points. Now, people will point out you're 7-1 at home. Congratulations. That one loss was to Murray State. But you also have 6 other losses on the road and one at a neutral site. I mean, it's unfathomable. Fathomable? I don't know how to say it. What's that word I'm looking for, Will?
Fathomable.
Fathomable.
Yeah,
Fathomable? I don't know. I can't speak English. I'm not an English major.
You're
nor
right
will
there.
I ever be. But I'm just a dumb redneck from the South. But no, I really think that this I'm watching the Grizzlies. Sorry, I really think this Tigers team is just so. It's tough to watch, guys. It's not fair to watch as a fan because you invest so much into it, and you only get so much back. My dog is a bigger fan of the Tigers than I am right now.
Well, here's my point. Here's my take on it. Like when I watch Memphis, like it's obvious they have better talent than all the teams they play, but obviously coaching, and I know you've touched on that. There's something going on, and I listened to y'all's show, and y'all pretty much brought up everything. Like it's just a major disappointment. I mean, it's not like it's his first year and he doesn't have any talent. So
it's the fourth year, and it's the second #1 recruiting class he's ever had in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's wonder what could happen with a proven coach. What he could do with that.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. If Memphis brought Tubby Smith in here to be that guy, but Tubby also came in here to collect a retirement check and didn't want to coach. He just wanted to. He straight up said, "The days of getting 5-star recruits at the University of Memphis are over." That's just not the case. Penny just went out and got 2 of the best recruiting classes of all time. Now the problem is, and I've said it on our show, and I'll continue to say it, Penny Hardaway's ego is bigger than his heart, and he has a massive heart. That's part of the problem. Penny's only going to listen to himself. He's not going to listen to others. So having Larry Brown on that bench isn't going to help. When you had Rasheed Wallace on that bench, it wasn't going to help. Penny's going to go his way or the highway.
Yeah.
You know what? If it works, credit to him. If it doesn't work, which it's not, he's got to take the fall for it. What I'm tired of hearing is everybody blame this on COVID or injuries or anything like that. I don't give 2 craps if we were injured when we played Tulane and we lost by a point. You still had 3 4-stars starting in that lineup and 2 5-stars starting in that lineup.
Mm-hmm.
The talent at Tulane does not exceed what we have at the University of Memphis. No team in the country exceeds the talent that we have at the University of Memphis, much less should they be able to beat the University of Memphis. But you guess what? Bad coaching. Bad coaching gets you into bad situations, and that's why Memphis is sitting at 9-7, and they are the most disappointing team this season.
Oh, Nate, you got anybody in mind that you could either throw out there as a surprise, whether it be a coach or a team, good, bad, or ugly?
Yeah, I'll throw them out. I'll put one as good, and we talked about it earlier. Bruce Pearl in Auburn. That is a shocker, and that's not taking anything away from how talented they are. It shocked me. Bruce Pearl's a hell of a coach, and when he left Tennessee and went to coach at Auburn, he's turned this Auburn basketball program around big time. And if anybody has ever watched them play, he's got a tough squad to go up against. I know my Bama boys went up against them, and it didn't go the way we planned it. But since we're jumping on Penny, I ain't going to jump on Penny because y'all pretty much did that. But I'll jump on somebody. I'll jump on my boys too. I'll jump on Alabama. Nate Oates in Alabama. You turn around, you lose to Auburn, then you lose to Mississippi State, and then you're playing LSU right now, which I'm not sure what the score is because I'm at work, so I can't check it. But Nate Oates made a point, and he put it on the players and on himself about the way they've came out and played these past couple of games. And don't get me wrong, Nate Oates is a great coach, but it's like what Brandon said about Penny. It's all about the coaching. You can't blame it on COVID. You can't blame it on injuries. It's the coaching, and that's what a lot of these coaches got to look at. Yeah, Penny's got a all-star starting 5 and an all-star bench. He's got the team to make the run and make it easy. But and I wasn't able to be on the point last night, and I hate that because I had a lot of points I wanted to point out, hot seat point. But I want to just say this. You look at the game, and you pulled Imani Bates first half. When you pulled him out, and then the second half, I don't believe he ever came back in to the game. But the thing about Memphis is when they get up by 18, then they start playing
They stall.
individual ball.
They stall
stall.
because they want to put all their stats up, and they don't care about what anything else is being said. And that's not just a player problem. That's a coaching problem, and that's a culture problem.
Exactly.
You can't allow that in your locker room.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why what Penny needs to do is he got to look at guys like, and I'm going to say Bruce Pearl. Bruce Pearl, if you make one little mistake, he's going to pull you over to the side. He's going to let you have it, and he's going to sit you down on the bench. And then when you get back out there, you know the mistake you made and not to make it again. Penny's got guys like Harris, for instance. Harris threw up a 3 trying to fade away like Kobe Bryant. You're not Kobe, man. All right. You got to set your feet. You got.
Tyler's the only one who gets a pass because his shots are actually going in.
I know, but I'm just saying though, like when you get up by 18, you start turning the ball over. You start throwing up shots. You stop rebounding. You stop driving to the basket. You want to like it's like Brandon said. You want to put your stats up, make your stats look good. But the thing about it is, you could do all that all you want, but if that's all you're doing, I mean, let's just go ahead and say it. Memphis ain't even focused on the championship. They're focused on just getting to the next level and everything. And that's not just on the players; that's on the coaching staff too. Penny's got to have a better way of talking to these players and getting them to focus on. Are y'all more focused on going to the league, or are y'all focused on actually winning a championship and improving?
Yeah. I mean, I feel that's kind of what I was alluding to last night, and on the point was, these guys aren't worried about playing together. They're just worried about making it to the next round. They're waiting on that check, and that's disappointing. But that's kind of what we're starting to see with college sports in general. I think, unfortunately. Christian, is there anybody? I know you kind of you came in on part of what Bum was saying about the Tigers, but is there anybody in particular that's surprising you, good, bad, or otherwise?
Well, if we had done this show 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have been just like y'all are on Memphis. I would have been saying, this Arkansas team is just way underperforming, and it's crazy how like a 3-game stretch can kind of change your outlook on things. I don't expect Arkansas to, go to the Final Four or anything this year, but it's good to see that they're not imploding. But I do keep up with Memphis, and it's the way that they're losing, which is so disappointing. Like y'all said, they'll get up 18 points, and it just kind of it falls off the rails, and it's sad to see because I know y'all are big Memphis fans, and like I said, everything's there for Memphis to be good. It's just obviously the coaching isn't where it needs to be, and I think it's disappointing because of everything. Like I said, Memphis has all the tools to be great, and I think they're better than their record shows, even though they've lost to some bad teams.
Yeah.
They dominated Alabama, and Alabama's not not as good as I thought they would be at this point in the season, but they still got talent on that team, and I don't know. I kind of was at the beginning of the year when Memphis was losing. I was like, this is just a young team; they'll get it figured out. But I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those years where it's not going to get much better. But like I said, with the talent that they have, they can overcome coaching in some games. But, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. Like they could be, they could be undefeated in conference right now, but they've let some games get away from them. That's the hard. That's the worst part about it,
Yep. And they absolutely should be. I mean, I think they should be undefeated in conference play. I mean, they've definitely underperformed. If anybody wants to hear my take on it, they can go back and listen to last night's The Point podcast. Should be out there on the Star Live webpage as well as our socials and some of the other outlets you can listen on. But yeah, I mean, that Memphis team right now, extremely disappointing, to have that much talent and just to basically squander it. You can't pull these guys together and get them to play for one season. I mean, just get them to play together and actually utilize that talent to just blow people out of the water, which I think what everybody was sort of expecting with this team. And it's been the complete opposite in so many ways. Just real quickly, a couple of teams that I kind of had, on the positive side of things, just some that have surprised me this year. One in particular, Miami, they were picked to finish 12th in the AAC, and they just went into Cameron Indoor and beat Duke. I believe they're leading the ACC right now. And they're running a 4-guard lineup, and it seems to be working really well for them. So that's one that's kind of surprised me, and I think, for what they came out ranked, they're doing pretty good. Go ahead.
Hey, Will.
Yeah.
Miami beat North Carolina.
Was it North Carolina? Okay.
Yeah, North Carolina. Florida State beat Duke.
Okay, yeah. On the Cameron Indoor, so yeah, they just beat Duke. So that was one that it just kind of, being picked to finish 12th in your conference and you're leading the conference halfway through the season's pretty solid. Obviously Texas A&M, I don't think they were expected. Nobody expected them to do much. I think they were also voted to finish 12th in the SEC starting the season. They're averaging about 77 points a game. Another one I'd put down, not one that you necessarily expect or that comes as a surprise, because you always expect to see them, even if they start slow, you always kind of expect to see them pick up steam towards the end of the year. That'd be Michigan State. They lost some talent. They were voted 6th in the Big Ten as far as how they were supposed to finish the season starting out the year. And right now, you've got Gabe Brown. He's an all-conference player for them, or at least looks like it. And Max Christie, he's been voted Freshman of the Week 3 times. So those guys are kind of getting hot right at the right time of the year. And they've got a big game coming up this weekend. We're going to get into with some of the picks we've got coming up here shortly. So I guess we can probably go ahead and transition into that. We've already knocked out the Kentucky-Texas A&M pick, which was a game it should actually have just tipped off. And then also another one going on tonight. That'll be the next one we pick, guys. Number 20, Xavier at DePaul. And DePaul's coming off of a big win over Seton Hall. So, Christian, I'll start with you. Who do you got in this matchup? Christian, you there, buddy?
Oh, sorry, my connection froze. What'd you say?
So the next, we're going to move into the pickups. And tonight, the second matchup I've got down here for this evening was number 20 Xavier at DePaul. And they're all themselves, they're a big win.
I like the Musketeers in that one. It's hard to pick Big East. Aren't they in the Big East? Or not? Not the Big East.
They're in the Big East.
Yeah. That's always a pretty strong conference. And Villanova, when I look at Villanova, after their, 2 or 3 years of dominance, I just think what they've got there with that coach, his name's skipping my brain. But he's a really good coach, Villanova, that they've got, and the culture there. Not Villanova, Xavier. I'm getting them mixed up. But Xavier, yeah, they're a pretty good basketball team. I don't think DePaul. I don't think they're good enough to match up with them. I think Xavier's one of those teams that if they get in the tournament, you don't want to play them.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a solid team. Brandon, how about you? How are you feeling about this Xavier DePaul matchup?
Give me DePaul.
All right.
Give me DePaul because their logo's cool.
Gotcha. I agree. I like their logo too. We used to play them all the time in basketball. It seems like when I was a kid here at the University of Memphis.
I remember early enough to remember them being in Conference USA at one point, and then them moving on.
They were always.
I'd love to see Memphis line back up and play against them again.
Yeah, that would be cool, man. They were always a tough team. They always seemed, it was like they were kind of like St. Louis in a lot of ways. They always seemed to have our number. Nate, how do you feel about this, or which way you going on this Xavier DePaul matchup tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Xavier. They're gonna match up a lot better, and I see Xavier winning this, no questions asked. DePaul has struggled in a lot of games, come close in a lot, but when they match up with Xavier, I don't see it being a contest. I see Xavier taking this.
Gotcha. All right. So in that one, I actually had DePaul picked, and that's who I'll stick with. I mean, they're playing at home. They just beat Seton Hall. Probably not the smartest pick. They may have a bit of a letdown coming off that game, but that's who I got picked in that one. So moving on to the next one, guys. This will be tomorrow. You've got number 4 Purdue at Indiana. Who do you think will win this one?
Out of the Indiana and Purdue, another great. I think this is a good matchup too. Even though a lot of people would say, oh no, Purdue's got this one, but it's in Indiana, and Indiana does have a good team this year. I hope nobody overlooks them because Indiana did pull off the upset on Ohio State back on January 6th. So you know what? I'm gonna stick with Indiana on this one. I think Indiana's gonna pull the upset on Purdue.
Gotcha. Christian, who you got in this one? Indiana or?
This is one of those really exciting matchups. A big rivalry game in the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. One of the best rivalry games in college basketball, really. And Purdue, Indiana, man, that's always fun to watch. It's tough to go on the road and win at Indiana.
Yes.
I can't imagine how that crowd's going to be. It's an in-state rival coming into town, ranked number 4 in the country. Man, if Indiana's able to get that win, I'm sure they're going to storm the court and everything. I think with all that being said, I think Indiana has the slight advantage because it is at home. They're 13-4. They're known to pull off upsets on their home floor, and I think they're going to get it done. Just because this isn't going to be necessarily a bad loss for Purdue.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those games that they probably think they should win, but it's not unforeseeable that they go on the road and lose to Indiana, but they could still end up making a deep run in the tournament. Indiana could even make a deep run.
Oh yeah, I agree. Definitely.
So yeah, I like Indiana at home, but if this were at Purdue, I would probably lean with the Boilermakers.
Gotcha. All righty. Bum, what are you feeling on this one?
Give me Purdue.
So I've got Indiana. I'm kind of like Nate and Christian in this one. You've got a team. They're only 2 spots back of Purdue in the Big Ten standings right now. Really, that conference is pretty tight. Consider 7 or 8 teams in that conference right now. Most of them only have 3 or 4 losses. So I'm going to go with Indiana. They're 13-4. They're going up against a Purdue team that's number 4. But like Christian said, huge rivalry game. And yeah, I'm going to take Indiana to upset the Boilermakers and maybe catch fire a little bit headed down the stretch. So moving on, we've got a West Coast matchup. This one's at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow evening. We've got the number 16 USC Trojans facing off against the Colorado Buffaloes. Nate, I'll start with you on that one. What you thinking on that game?
I'm sorry.
All right, guys. What you guys say, Brandon? Go ahead.
I didn't hear what was happening. I didn't know if my name was called or not. I've been too deep in this Grizzlies game. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We got you on the Indiana Purdue pick. The next one we've got up is going to be USC Colorado, and I am starting with Nate on this one.
Okay.
All right, so this USC Colorado game, it's one of those. It's still a good matchup. I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of hate that they canceled the USC Arizona, or they postponed the USC Arizona game, which was a few weeks ago. But in this matchup, I mean, USC is coming off of a loss against Oregon, and I think that might bring them back to on level ground and everything. But at the end of it all, yeah, give me USC in this one.
All right, so we got Nate going with USC. Mr. Bumgarner, what are you feeling in this USC Colorado matchup?
I think Boogie Ellis tears it up, and Colorado has no shot at him. USC big.
Gotcha. All right, Christian, how about you, man? You got USC in this, like the other two guys, or you think the Buffaloes might pull it out at home?
Yeah, something about this game, I try not to get too caught up in the record and rankings because in college basketball, if you're going on the road to play a pretty good team, I typically give the advantage to the home team despite the record. Colorado, they're not a flashy team, but I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. They kind of made a run. I know USC did make a run in the tournament. Colorado's starting to emerge as a strong Pac-12 basketball program, kind of under the radar. USC starting to gain some respect in basketball, and maybe they'll start getting some in football again. But I like the Buffaloes at home. This obviously would be an upset, but I think they're more than capable of pulling it off. And also, this wouldn't be a terrible loss for USC either to go on the road and lose to Colorado, who's 12-4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Boogie Ellis is a great player. Don't get me wrong, and if he comes to play, then USC is probably going to get the win. But if I had to bet, I'd probably go with the Buffaloes.
So, initially I had USC picked. I don't know, the more I look at it, I'm kind of leaning Buffalo. Really close records, like Christian said, Colorado's not necessarily a flashy team, but they play well enough to win games. And they have made some noise the last couple of years. I think they're kind of getting a hold of something there. And while USC's played well, they're playing away. Their away record's actually really good. They're 4-1 away, but also 9. I'll take the home team in this one, and to our next match for tomorrow evening. This one's an 8 p.m. matchup. Top 25 team, number 25, UConn, the Huskies at Butler. Brandon, I'll let you start this one off. Who do you got winning this one, Butler or UConn? The battle of the dogs.
UConn. We'll get the Huskies the edge. I think they get it done, and Butler's, I mean, historically a pretty good team, but like I just said, guys, earlier, this is a UConn-esque type year, and if UConn can pull a UConn, then you have a UConn year. That made zero sense, but just know I'm picking UConn.
Gotcha. All righty. Moving on. Nate, who you got in this, man? Y'all got you going with UConn or you going with Butler?
Yeah, I'm going to take UConn in this easily. This ain't even going to be a matchup. I honestly think UConn's going to probably be up 20 points. Give me 15, 20 points ahead of Butler on this game.
All right. Christian, how about you? What are you feeling in this one?
This is kind of odd, but UConn and Butler already played. They played 2 days ago, or they played last night, and they're going to play again. Which I don't understand why they do that in basketball. I've seen it before where they'll play back-to-back games. But yeah, UConn won on their home court pretty easily. Butler's 9-8. Not really a great record if you look at it, but they are in a pretty tough conference. But the games that they've lost, they've gotten beat pretty badly in those games. Butler's typically a good team, a team you don't want to play in March, but I think they're going to have an off year this year, and I think UConn's going to win and stay in the top 25. They're kind of teetering on that, on just barely being in the top 25, but they're also a team. It could be one of those years, kind of like when they had Kimball Walker.
Mm-hmm.
They just kept winning late in the year. They weren't really like supposed to be where they were that year, but they ended up getting hot in the Big East tournament, and I believe they carried that on and won the national championship that year, which was crazy. That was one of the crazier years in college basketball that I can remember. But yeah, I like the Huskies.
All right. I'm right there with you guys. I am falling in line and also have the Huskies picked in this one. Butler, they've had some great runs, had some great teams the last decade or so, and I think it recognizes the name at this point, but I don't think here that they're going to make a whole lot of noise, at least moving forward, based on what their record is. This, like Christian said, they've had some pretty significant losses. So, anyways, moving on. We've got a few minutes left, and go ahead and knock this one out. But this one's easy for everybody. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m., San Francisco is at number 1 Gonzaga. Brandon?
Gonzaga, big. San Francisco sucks. Anything about California sucks.
Yeah, I don't even think that I don't have any argument for San Francisco to win this game.
Gotcha. All right. So that's 2 for the Zags. Nate, what you thinking on this one?
You know what? I'm going to go against the Zags. Give me San Francisco.
No.
This isn't football.
I don't care. I'm still going for San Francisco.
So, yeah, I've got I myself, too, have the Zags pick. I'm going to stick with them. And on to the next one, the last matchup that I have picked for tomorrow evening, another late night matchup, number 3 Arizona at Stanford. Christian, we'll fire away with you first.
I got Arizona in this one. Stanford just doesn't really impress me that much. It's that simple. In baseball they're good, but I guess since the Lopez twins were there, they haven't really been relevant that I can remember. That's not to say they can't win this game. It wouldn't be unheard of. But I like what Arizona's got going. They're number 3 in the country right now. And yeah, I'd be pretty shocked if Stanford were to win this game. So I've got the Wildcats.
All righty. Nate, how about you, man? You got the Wildcats or you going with the Tree?
Well, the first thing you got to look at is Stanford at the beginning of the season got manhandled by Baylor. Then they came.
Yeah. You still there, Nate? Sorry, something broke up. Bum,
yeah, I'm taking Arizona in this one.
okay,
The
gotcha.
Grizzlies cannot buy a foul. Sorry.
Oh, you're good, man. Bum, who you got in this one? You going with the Cardinal or you going with the Cats?
We're going to go with Arizona. I think they beat the absolute heck out of them and call it a night.
Stanford just bores me. I don't know why.
Stanford's just smart people.
Yeah, like when I think of Stanford, I just,
When I think of Stanford, I think Andrew Luck should be their
yeah,
logo.
he was their the best thing that happened to Stanford. I think, other than they're a pretty good academic school. I'll give them that.
They're one of the
But you
best
also got to give him
academic
credit
schools.
you also got to give him credit for Christian McCaffrey too.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah. All right, so on this one, guys, I think, man, I mean, I'm going to go the opposite route of all of y'all. Stanford, while they have had some bad losses, they also recently beat USC, which, obviously a pretty good team. I'm not sure how many games USC was coming off of, but they are playing at home. I know they're playing the number one team in their conference, but they're only a couple games back of them, and they're 7-0 at home. Not that that matters. It is college basketball, and it is the time of year when we start seeing crazy upsets, and we see teams that really aren't going to get upset just blow other teams away at home. So I'll take Stanford in this one just to be different, but let's move on. We got another game firing up. This will be the 21st, so I believe that would be Friday. This is number 17, Illinois, facing off against Maryland at home. This will be 6 p.m. Friday afternoon. Brandon, who you got? You got the Turtles or you got the Fighting Illini?
Well, the Turtles fired their coach in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Let's go with Illinois.
All right. Brandon's got the Illini. All right, Nate, who you got in this one? You going with Illinois 17 Illini, or are you picking the home team of Maryland?
I'm going Illinois on this one easily.
All right. Christian, you're next, man. You rolling with the Orange Wave?
Yeah, I'm going with them. With them, Maryland's having a pretty bad off season. I mean, thought they would be doing a little better than they're doing right now, but there's still time for them to get hot. But I mean, I just don't see it happening against Illinois.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. They're pretty much riding the pine in that conference right now. At the very bottom, just above Nebraska. So in this one, even though they're at home, like you guys said, losing your coach, just sort of a bad situation all around. Everybody's going straight Illini in this one, so everybody's got Illinois. The last one I had picked outside of the Memphis and Arkansas matchups will be our last two of the night. I've got probably one of what'll be, I don't know, my highlight game of the weekend, at least one of the better matchups that I see coming up. And we kind of talked about at least one of these teams I did earlier. That would be the 8 p.m. matchup on Friday between Michigan State and Wisconsin, number 14 Sparties, going up to face home. So who you guys got? I'll start with you, Brandon.
This game's at Wisconsin.
It is in Wisconsin, yes, sir.
Give me Wisconsin in this one. Michigan State. I mean, if this is March, I'd be picking them.
Yeah.
But right now, give me Wisconsin at home. Yeah. And call it a day.
All right. Christian, how about you, man? You going with Sparty or you taking the Badgers in this one?
This is a pretty intriguing matchup, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
Wisconsin, man, why haven't we talked about them? They're 15-2. And,
We're one in Big Ten right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought that beginning of the year. But, yeah, I got the Badgers at home, Like I keep stressing how the importance of home games, especially in a big matchup like this. It seems like the crowd's just more into it. And I feel like they're going to feed off the crowd and give them that edge that they need. But like Brandon said, if this was, at a neutral side or something, then I'd probably lean with the Spartans. But, I mean, they're only a game back from I think they're only a game back from the Badgers. So, yeah, I got Wisconsin getting a big win at home.
All righty. Christian's going with the big win. So, Nate, we're down to you, man. Michigan State or Wisconsin this weekend?
Look, when y'all look at this Wisconsin team, one name comes to mind: Johnny Davis. He's averaging 22 points a game. He's an outstanding ball player. And you look at the Wisconsin team in general; they're on a 7-game win streak right now. And
Wow.
so let's just go ahead and make it number 8. They beat Michigan at Wisconsin. So give me Wisconsin in this.
I'm calling it right now. Wisconsin's going to be in the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, the way they're playing, man, I could definitely see it. They are a very tough team. You know, Michigan's getting hot at the right time. I don't know if they're white hot, kind of starting to catch fire. So I'm going to go with you guys, you know, stick in the same corner here and roll with the Badgers. So that's all 4 of us going with the Badgers in this one.
Well,
but I think
look,
it's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a really good matchup. I think, you know, it could be a barn burner, but it could be a fun game nonetheless. Go ahead, Nate.
Look, I got a quick update for everybody right now that's tuning in. Currently, Alabama is up 58-53 over number 13 LSU with 5 minutes left in the second half. And then I got Texas A&M up 16-12 over number 12 Kentucky with 8 minutes left in the first half.
We broke LSU.
Wow, yeah.
No, Alabama's, yeah, they're kicking LSU's butt. I think they were a little overhyped.
Well, no, quick update, actually. LSU's brought it within 2 now. So
What
it's
the
getting
heck?
into a good game.
You're not supposed to tell me that.
All right, so last 2 of the night, guys. These are the local teams, the teams that we ourselves follow as the 4-star personalities that we are. First one I've got on here for the local b-ball matchups would be the 20th. That's tomorrow, obviously. We've got SMU coming to the Forum to face off against the 9-7 Tigers. You know, we're 7-1 at home. That doesn't necessarily mean a darn thing, at least with this team. So, Brandon, who do you think's got this? You think Memphis got a win against SMU at home?
I think SMU beats us by 20.
All right. Nate, how about you, man? Do you think Memphis can pull an upset on the better SMU team at home this weekend, or you got SMU, or tomorrow rather, not this weekend?
I'm only picking this because they're at home. I'm gonna go with the Tigers at home.
All right, Christian, how about you, man? You got the Tigers, or you got the Stangs?
I actually think Memphis being at home is going to really help them in this game. And I know SMU is a good ball club, but I like the fact that Memphis is at home and they're kind of a bipolar basketball team. You know, I feel like they get up for the bigger opponents.
Yeah.
And I know SMU is not a powerhouse or anything, but I think they're 13-4.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
So that would be a solid win for Memphis, and I think they can get it. They have to get it if they want any shot of, you know, building a strong enough resume to get into the tournament. So they better start now, and I think they'll get it.
I agree with you as far as the importance of this game. You're facing the number 2 team in your conference, like you said. They're 13-4, right behind Houston at 16-2, and Houston's ranked in the top 10 or at least top 15. You know, the only hope that I have for the Tigers is that, again, like you said, Christian, this game's at the Forum. They're 7-1 at home, so that's really, you know, if there were anything to grasp a hold of, if you're a Tigers fan in this one, it's the fact that this game's being played at home and we seem to play up to our competition. So this might just be a hopeful pick, but I am picking the Tigers in this one in a upset over SMU. Now,
That sounds very hopeful to me.
Well, it is hopeful, Brandon. You hear me? It's very hopeful, but you know what?
I have no hope. I lost my hope when I lost it. Freaking East Carolina.
Hope.
I'm still going to cheer for them.
Hey, I mean, that's all we can do at this point. All right. So lastly, guys, the last game I've got down here for us to pick, I believe this is a matchup on Saturday, 7:30. Pretty good matchup. You got two pretty sound SEC teams firing up. Obviously, a few of our guys here, big Arkansas fans. They are hosting the Texas A&M Aggies. Christian, this being your squad, man. Who you got in this one? You going with the hometown Hogs, or you think Texas A&M come in and spook them a little bit?
I mean, much like the Memphis situation, I mean, the fact that this is at Bud Walton Arena and as loud as that place can get, I think that gives Arkansas, that extra push that they need because A&M's a good team and they've already beaten Arkansas this year. It was a pretty close game, but we still lost. And A&M's coming in pretty hot, 4-0 in conference, 15-2. Arkansas's coming in hot. They've won 3 straight conference games. So it's kind of one of those games. What gives? But like I said, I've seen some really good teams come into Bud Walton Arena and look bad. I don't think this game. I mean, I think this game will be close. I think A&M's good enough to keep it close. Arkansas is going to have to keep it close and play good defense and play like they've been playing if they want to get the win in this one. But I don't think it's a win that I don't think it's a game that Texas A&M necessarily has to have. But I think Arkansas needs this win still. I mean, they've got some work to do to make up for that bad stretch that they went on, and this is a good opportunity for another quality win. And I think Arkansas gets the win, but I'm sure they're gonna have to earn it. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha. All right, man. Nate, how about you? Who you got in this one? You got Aggies or the Hogs?
Yeah, I mean, A&M's already up by 10 against Kentucky right now, so that's just adding to the momentum of the Aggies coming into the matchup against Arkansas. It's like Christian said, A&M's already beat them once, and when A&M beat Arkansas last time, Arkansas was coming out shooting threes and was not missing. I think you're going to see the same. I think Texas A&M's got something to prove this year, and I think it's going to be too much for Arkansas. Give me A&M.
Buzz Williams is a good coach, man. He knows how to get the most out of his players. So it wouldn't shock me if they came in and shut us down. But I'm kind of being hopeful, like y'all are about Memphis.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you got, man.
Yeah.
Brandon, how about you in this one? Last matchup of the night to pick. We got Texas A&M.
I think the Arky Pigs when they get their win. I mean, they got their wins going right now. What is it, 3 in a row, Christian, for the Arky Pigs? Okay. Well, the Pigs are. I mean, I think they can get a win on Saturday. This is going to be one of those A&M games where everybody thinks it's a fluke win because they beat the crap out of Kentucky. John Morant just tried to murder Giannis, by the way. No, I think Arkansas can win strictly because it's at home. They bring a loud home fan base. A lot of fun to have a team like that and have a fan base like that cheer for your team. Only wish Memphis fans could do it. They just don't know how because our fans are all, I'm going to be brutally honest, not great fans. But yeah, I think Arkansas gets the win this weekend. Like I said, I like A&M. I like Buzz Williams. I think he's a good coach. I think Musselman's just a little bit of a better coach. Musselman's the type of guy that's going to be on an NBA bench eventually. He's going to be a head coach in the NBA. And he knows how to how to win. He knows how to get guys to want to win as well. So Christian said it earlier. Arkansas's showing some strides this season so far at this point, and I really think that they can keep that going.
I got you. I'm right there with you guys on this one too. I think the Hogs have a chance. I think Jay Williams has been looking good, and that team, you know, they've had their ups and downs, but I expect them to win this at home. Christian is Musselman. I saw earlier. I knew he'd hurt his shoulder. When is
he was actually coaching last night, and
okay, cool.
like he had the arm sling on, coaching from the bench, but that kind of surprised me because I thought he would be out for at least a couple games. So
that's what
I guess he's back.
Cool. I guess we can wrap it up, man. I appreciate y'all joining me and putting up with my newness to at least trying to host this deal.
You did good.
But I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me and going through the process, and I hope to do it again soon with you guys.
Well, look, before we cut it short, I'll give you a quick update. Alabama's up on LSU 65-60, second half with 1:40. A&M is beating Kentucky 27-16 with 6 minutes left in the first half. And Auburn and Georgia have just tipped off.
All right.
Good
basketball.
Georgia's going to get roundhoused. They're going to get train dragged.
Train drag. That's one of my favorite bumisms, I think, is train drag. All right, guys. Well,
Bumgarnerism?
Yeah, I'll call it a bumism. We'll roll with that. Bumgarnerism. That's a mouthful, man. You know, bumism's a little bit easier. We got kids that watch this show.
Very true. Very true.
So, guys.
You do?
Well, my kids.
Awesome.
At least sometimes they're just in the room, so we'll just make it easy on them. But yeah, for all you guys, whether you're listening on Spotify or iHeartRadio, YouTube, if you're watching on the 4star.live website, from all of us here at 4 Star Sports Media, myself, Willie B, Brandon Bumgarner down below me. I got Christian out to my side here. I don't know if that's my right or my left on the screen. It's my left on my screen, probably the right on your screen. And Nate down there in the corner. For all of us at 4 Star Sports Media, we appreciate you guys. Hopefully you learned some things. Hopefully we didn't bore you too much. And hopefully you'll come back and join us here soon. We'll be posting when our next shows will be out. And we may take a little break, but who knows? Either way, we'll be out there on our socials. Y'all can come follow us, and we hope to hear from you soon. And we hope to see you guys back in the So for 4 Star Sports Media, thank you guys. We appreciate you joining us. We are out. Gotta figure out how to do this. Later, guys.
It should say end live.
It does. I know. I'm getting there. I was going to do
still live, baby.
Oh.
Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. Go Tigers. Grizzlies, roll Tide.
Grizzlies are getting smoked right now.
All right, guys. I'll see y'all later.
Ain't nobody to mess with.
See ya.
Take it easy.
Bye.